Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget 2025-26, a big gift for the poor, farmers and youth. The Union Budget focuses on a Viksit Bharat. US President Trump's major announcement, new tariffs imposed on imports from China, Mexico and Canada, reasons cited as rising trade deficit and illegal supply of fentanyl. World Gold Council releases Gold Demand Trends Report. Gold demand in India saw a 5% increase in 2024. RBI made its largest ever gold purchase. India gets 4 new Ramsar sites. India ranks first in Asia in terms of Ramsar sites. The total number of Ramsar sites in India reaches 89. Global Firepower Index 2025 released. India demonstrates its military strength and secures the 4th position. The United States holds the 1st position. Recently, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget 2025-26. This is the 8th consecutive budget presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. This budget is focused on the goal of defining India as a Viksit Bharat. In this development journey of India, agriculture, MSME, investment and export are the 4 engines. Meanwhile, in this year's budget, the fiscal deficit is estimated to remain 4.4% of the gross domestic product. It is noteworthy that agriculture is considered the first engine of development. As a result, several important announcements have been made in the agriculture sector. The key one being the Prime Minister's Krishi Dhan Dhanya Yojana. Under this scheme, agricultural reforms will be carried out in low productivity areas in 100 districts. Meanwhile, the establishment of a Makhana board in Bihar has also been announced. Its aim is to promote the production, processing and marketing of Makhana. It is also mentioned that a customized credit card will be issued for MSMEs, through which micro enterprises will receive loans of up to Rs 5 lakh. A fund of funds will be established for startups, which will specifically offer loan facilities to women, SC and ST entrepreneurs. Additionally, the government has initiated several schemes for investment and innovation, such as Atal Tinkering Labs and broadband connectivity in government schools. In the health sector, the establishment of 200 daycare cancer centers and the issuance of social security schemes and identity cards for gig workers have also been announced. Meanwhile, to promote exports, the establishment of India Trade Net will be made. Furthermore, in the insurance sector, there is a plan to increase the foreign direct investment limit from 74% to 100%, which will promote investment. It is noteworthy that the word budget is not mentioned in the Constitution. For this, Article 112 of the Constitution mentions the annual financial statement, through which the government presents details of its expenses and receipts for the financial year. This financial year runs from 1st April to 31st March. Recently, WGC, that is World Gold Council, released a report. This report is titled Gold Demand Trends. According to the report, in 2024, gold demand in India saw a 5% increase. It is expected that in 2025, gold demand in India may rise further. The report also indicates that in 2024, gold demand in India was around 802.8 tons, whereas in 2023, this figure was about 761 tons. However, in 2024, the demand for gold jewelry saw a decline compared to 2023. Also in 2024, there was a reduction in gold imports compared to 2023. It is noteworthy that in 2024, the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, was a significant buyer of gold, purchasing nearly 73 tons of gold. This figure was 4 times more than the 16 tons of gold purchased in 2023. India is one of the largest gold markets in the world. Growing prosperity in India is driving further growth in gold demand. It is important to note that gold is a significant part of Indian culture. In Indian society, it is considered essential to give gold as a gift during marriage-related rituals. For information, the World Gold Council was established in 1987 by some of the world's leading mining companies. This organization considers gold a strategic asset and is responsible for the gold supply chain. Currently, it has 32 gold mining companies as members. Its headquarters is located in London, while its office in India is in Mumbai. Recently, US President Donald Trump has ordered the termination of the US membership in the United Nations Human Rights Council and the cessation of financial aid to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. This decision was made alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to the US. It is worth mentioning that Israel has accused UNRWA of having ties with terrorist groups, particularly Hamas. The Trump administration has accused the United Nations Human Rights Council of being biased towards Israel. It should be noted that earlier in 2018, the Trump administration has suspended financial aid to UNRWA, but the Biden administration resumed it in 2021. Trump's decision could impact global humanitarian assistance as UNRWA provides aid to millions of Palestinian refugees. It is notable that UNRWA is a special agency of the United Nations. It was established in 1949. UNRWA stands for United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian refugees in the Near East. Its primary goal is to provide humanitarian aid to Palestinian refugees displaced as a result of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. UNRWA provides education, healthcare, social services and humanitarian aid to refugees in Palestine, Jordan, Lebanon and Syria. Recently, US President Donald Trump announced the imposition of tariffs on products imported from Mexico, Canada and China. Under this, a 25% tariff will be imposed on imports from Mexico and Canada and a 10% tariff on China. The new tariffs came into effect on 1st February 2025. Trump cited the growing trade deficit of the United States and the illegal supply of fentanyl as the reason for this decision. In fact, fentanyl is causing the deaths of American citizens. It is worth mentioning that fentanyl is a powerful synthetic piperidine opioid used for pain relief and anesthesia. It is 100 times more potent than morphine and 50 times more potent than heroin. However, taking it in excess can prove fatal. It can cause difficulty in breathing and the skin may turn blue and even put the person into a coma. Opioids are drugs that are naturally derived from the opium poppy plant. They have the ability to provide pain relief and produce a feeling of euphoria, and they can also lead to addictive dependencies. Other opioids include oxycodone, morphine, codeine and heroin. It is important to note that the US has been facing an opioid epidemic for a long time. According to the American Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the number of deaths from drug use in 2021 was 6 times higher than in 1999. Since 2013, there has been a rapid increase in deaths related to synthetic opioids in the US. The primary cause of this increase is being attributed to illegally produced fentanyl. Recently, 2 female officers of the Indian Navy crossed Point Nemo aboard the Indian Navy sailing vessel Tarini. These officers are part of the Navy's global circumnavigation campaign, Navika Sagar Parikrama 2. The objective of this campaign is to circumnavigate the world, passing through 3 major oceanic regions. Now, talking about Point Nemo, it is referred to as the oceanic pole of inaccessibility. It is considered the most remote location on Earth, situated in the South Pacific Ocean. This point is thousands of kilometers away from any land or inhabited place. Notably, it is known as the graveyard of satellites. So far, more than 260 space debris, including Russia's Mir space station and NASA's Skylab, have been deliberately dropped at this location to prevent them from falling over populated areas. Point Nemo is named after Captain Nemo from Jules Verne's famous novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It is worth mentioning that Nemo in Latin means no one. The ocean around Point Nemo is devoid of nutrients, making it a neglected area for fish and other marine life. Recently, India has included 4 new Ramsar sites. With this, the total number of Ramsar sites in India has reached 89. It is noteworthy that in terms of Ramsar sites, India ranks first in Asia and third in the world. The newly designated sites include Sakara Kotai and Tirthangal Bird Sanctuary in Tamil Nadu, Kechiopalli Wetland in Sikkim, and Udva Lake in Jharkhand. It is noteworthy that this is the first Ramsar site for both Sikkim and Jharkhand. Ramsar sites provide important habitats for migratory birds, fish, and other wildlife. These sites also help in flood control and preserving ecosystems. India's objective is to maintain ecological balance and protect natural resources through the conservation of these wetlands. On 2nd February 1971, many countries signed the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands of International Importance. In celebration of this, every year on 2nd February, World Wetland Day is observed. The purpose of this day is to raise awareness about the role of wetland ecosystem in reducing environmental challenges. Notably, India has been a member of this convention since 1982. Recently, the Supreme Court has given an important judgment on the Palar River in Tamil Nadu. The court has described the treatment being meted out to the river as ecocide. In fact, the waste from leather factories located in Vellore, Tamil Nadu, is directly discharged into the river, causing it to appear lifeless, despite being a water source for 30 towns and 50 villages in Tamil Nadu. It is worth mentioning that ecocide means killing one's home. This term is used for environmental crimes. It refers to actions that are illegal and cause severe harm to the environment. In this case, the court stated that around 45% of all leather factories in India are located in Tamil Nadu. In these leather factories, 50% of the chemicals used in leather processing become wastewater or sludge, which is discharged into rivers without any treatment. It is significant to note that the wastewater from leather industries contains pollutants like nitrogen, sulfate, chromium, and chloride. The court acknowledged that as a result, a river that was once famous for literature, poetry, and music is now polluted. For your information, the Palar River originates from the Nandi Hills in Karnataka. It flows through Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu before emptying into the Bay of Bengal. Its flow covers a large part of Tamil Nadu. Recently, on 4th February, World Cancer Day was observed. It is noteworthy that on 4th February 1999, during the World Summit Against Cancer in Paris, World Cancer Day was first announced. On 4th February 2000, World Cancer Day was formally established. On this day, individuals and organizations around the world unite to highlight the importance of early detection, better screening, advanced treatment options, and stronger international efforts in the fight against cancer. The aim of this day is to raise awareness about the various types of cancer as well as to educate people about the prevention, early detection, and treatment of cancer. According to the World Health Organization, approximately 10 million deaths occurred due to this disease in 2022. It is noteworthy that the theme for the World Cancer Day 2025 is United by Unique. This theme is part of a 3-year campaign that will focus on the personal experiences of cancer patients, survivors, and caregivers between 2025 and 2027. It is noteworthy that in the case of cancer, cells grow uncontrollably. These cells can evade nearby parts of the body or spread to other organs. Other common terms used for cancer are malignant tumors and neoplasms. It is worth mentioning that cancer is the leading cause of death from diseases worldwide. Recently, the Global Firepower Index 2025 was released. In this index, India has achieved 4th place, demonstrating its military strength on the global stage. This ranking reflects India's growing defense capabilities in the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Meanwhile, the neighboring country, Pakistan, has fallen from 9th place in 2024 to 12th place in the latest ranking. It is worth mentioning that in the Global Firepower Index 2025, military power was assessed based on more than 60 parameters. These parameters include defense technology, financial resources, logistics, and strategic positions. Notably, in this year's index, the United States remains the most powerful military power, followed by Russia and China. while India is now in 4th place. The top 10 countries include South Korea, United Kingdom, France, Japan, Turkey, and Italy. For your information, India's advancement in 2025 is credited to modernization efforts across all three military branches. The Indian Army has 1.45 million active personnel, supported by 1.15 million reserve soldiers and more than 2.5 million paramilitary personnel. It is equipped with advanced weapons such as T-90 Bhishma and Arjun tanks, BrahMos missiles, and Pinaka rocket systems. The Indian Air Force has significantly expanded its fleet, now having 2,229 aircraft. The Indian Navy has also strengthened its presence. Its strategic assets include the INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant aircraft carriers, nuclear submarines, and P-8I maritime reconnaissance aircraft. That's all for now in this bulletin. After the news, let's take a quick look at 5 questions related to the bulletin. Question number 1. Consider the following statements with reference to the Union Budget 2025-26. A customized credit card will be issued for MSMEs, providing a loan of up to Rs 10 lakh. In the health sector, the government has announced the establishment of 200 daycare cancer centers. Agriculture has been considered the 4th engine of development. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. Consider the following statements with reference to the World Gold Council. It was formed in 1987 by some of the world's leading mining companies. Currently, 42 gold mining companies are members. Its headquarters is in London and its office in India is located in Delhi. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. Consider the following statements with reference to fentanyl. It is a powerful natural piperidine opioid. It is used for pain relief and anesthesia. It is 100 times more effective than morphine. How many of the above statements are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. Consider the following statements with reference to Point Nemo. It is called the oceanic pole of inaccessibility. It is the most remote place on Earth located in the southern Pacific Ocean. This location is considered an ideal area for marine life due to its nutrient-rich environment. How many of the above statements are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. Consider the following statements with reference to World Cancer Day 2025. For the first time, this day was celebrated on 4th February 1999 in Paris. This year's theme for World Cancer Day is United by Unique. The purpose of this day is to reduce the global death rate from cancer. How many of the above statements are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, all 3, none of these. Recently, Argentina has successfully created the world's first genetically modified horses using CRISPR-Cas9 technology. The aim of this modification is to make the horses faster. The process is known as natural acceleration of evolutionary processes. These horses were created from the genes of the award-winning polo mare Pureza. It is noteworthy that CRISPR-Cas9 technology allows for precise genome editing, helping scientists make targeted genetic changes. India and the Maldives have started their 13th joint military exercise, Ekuverin, in the Maldives. Notably, the meaning of Ekuverin in the Divehi language is friend. This is an annual bilateral exercise held alternatively in India and the Maldives. This year, the exercise will last for 14 days, primarily focusing on counter-terrorism, anti-insurgency, and humanitarian assistance training. The opening ceremony was attended by Maldives Defence Chief Major General Ibrahim Hilmi and India's High Commissioner G. Balasubramaniam. It is worth mentioning that in 2023, this military exercise was held from 11th to 24th June in Uttarakhand. Recently, Mount Taranaki in New Zealand was granted legal personality, which provides it with rights and duties similar to those of humans. The purpose of this law is to protect the mountain's health and well-being, restore traditional uses, and work towards the conservation of local wildlife. It is worth noting that the Maori community of New Zealand considers this mountain to be an ancestor. The Maori people are the indigenous inhabitants of New Zealand. Previously, New Zealand's Whanganui River and Te Urevera National Park had also been granted legal personality. Recently, the Defense Research and Development Organization conducted 3 successful flight tests of the Very Short Range Air Defense System against high-speed targets flying at low altitudes. These tests were conducted from the Chandipur coast in Odisha. In these tests, the missiles completely destroyed targets with low thermal signatures under various flight conditions. It is worth noting that this is a man-portable air defense system designed and developed indigenously by DRDO labs and development-cum-production partners. Recently, Chaman Arora was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award 2024 for his book Ek Hor Ashwathama in the Dogri language. It is worth noting that the Sahitya Akademi Award was introduced in 1954. This award is given by the Sahitya Akademi, an autonomous body under the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. The award consists of a Manjusha, a copper plaque inscribed with the recipient's name along with a cash prize of 1 lakh rupees. Recently, India became the world's second largest mobile manufacturer. China holds the first position and Vietnam is in third place. Currently, 99.2% of the mobile phones sold in India are manufactured domestically. Mobile phones account for 43% of India's total electronics production. The electronics sector in India has seen rapid growth, reaching a total value of $155 billion in 2023. Notably, electronics has become India's 5th largest export product. However, India's share in global electronics exports remains less than 1%. Recently, the central government launched a significant dashboard called Garbh Ini Drishti. This dashboard has been specifically designed to understand and improve maternal and child health related issues. Through this dashboard, we get clinical data, images and biospecimens from over 12,000 pregnant women, newborns and post-delivery mothers. It is regarded as South Asia's largest data-based dashboard, which provides a comprehensive view of women and children undergoing various medical tests and procedures during pregnancy, delivery and child care. Recently, the Union Budget 2025 announced the Cotton Productivity Mission. This is a 5-year mission aimed at enhancing the productivity and sustainability of cotton farming. It also focuses on promoting extra long staple cotton varieties. ELS cotton is a premium variety whose fiber length exceeds 35 millimeters. This variety contributes 4% to global production. Major cotton producing countries include the United States, Egypt, Sudan, India, Peru, Israel and China.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.